All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris Unholy Jesus.
We back, everybody. We back. Happy New Year.
Oh, excuse me.
Happy New Year.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Media Hijack, episode number 86. First episode for 2022.
There you go. There you
How
go.
do you even say that?
There you go, baby. Just say it.
2022?
2022.
2022.
2022. Shit.
It's weird.
2022. Yeah.
2022.
2022. So weird.
Yeah, so weird. Yeah, sorry we took the 2 weeks off. We're actually supposed to take 1 week off, but then I accidentally was reckless over Christmas party day, and I made the mistake by eating my sister leftovers because it was like one of my favorite side dishes.
What is
and
it?
She said She said it was too hot. It was like a papaya salad, Asian papaya salad.
I never had it before.
It's good, but you have to really like food like that.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm addicted to food like that. So
Gotcha.
when she said it's too hot, she's gonna throw it away. I was like, fuck that.
Mine's
Me, I was sitting right there next to her. I started eating it with my hand. I was like, fuck this, no fork, no problem. Ate it. Had no idea
This shit ain't
because,
hot.
it was Christmas Day. Nobody looked sick. Everybody was drinking. I was like halfway bartender a little bit.
Okay.
I was happy because I got a snowboard. I was like, man, let me make her a drink.
So wait, if you're halfway bartender, that means everybody came up to you.
No.
And-
Only made drinks for Bob.
Okay, shit. Well, Bob's the number one suspect. I was like, maybe it was somebody else, but all right. Okay, Bob, you're it.
But yeah, she's the one that gave it to
Sorry.
me. And then 3 days later, I was messed up. And yeah, I'm here. So we're good.
We made it, guys. COVID strong, we here.
Yeah, we're good. All right. If you guys want to purchase some t-shirts, head over to the MediaHijack.com. Grab you an official Media Hijack t-shirt. Chris has his on. It's beautiful.
It is.
If you guys want a nice, beautiful
So
shirt,
awesome.
go to our website, check it out. Also, if you guys want to be a part of our member community, our Reddit community, head over to our Reddit page. I got the links down below for you guys. Also, if you want to watch the replay for this live Twitch video, head over to our YouTube.
Show some love, man.
Our YouTube is really dry. But
It's super duper dry. That's like our weakest area, but it's
Yeah, I don't blame them.
because it's so much shit.
just- we talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah, nobody. YouTube is even. I'm trying to get to a point. It's like I see where on
Yeah.
YouTube videos, if you can squeeze anything within 10 minutes, perfect.
Well, only if it's like a popular podcast, like people just leave it on their TV
And just let it run.
and
Yeah.
just let it play.
Oh yeah.
Maybe some people do that. I don't know. I didn't check, but
I usually do with Joe Rogan. I'm like, I'll hit it,
Yeah.
and then I'll start cleaning some shit.
that's what I do now. Cause Joe Rogan, you can put it on Roku, Spotify, and it plays the video.
Oh shit! And it's just
Yeah,
runs.
and I just leave that shit running because he got some banger episodes, man. Joe Rogan just knows how to talk to people. He's fucking good. Yeah, it's like that's
It's hit or
like
miss with me, but yeah.
like the way how he talked to the people and he just asked the right questions. It's an art form how he does it. It is. If you study, I actually studied how he did his shit. I was like, this guy's it's like a master without even knowing he's like a master.
Yeah.
Because
I can see it.
Yeah, because I listen to a lot of podcasts and he's like one at the top of one of the guys that actually know how to do a podcast. Actually knows how to talk to people.
The blueprint for.
Yeah, he's like the blueprint of how you're supposed to do it because everybody try to do it like him.
That's why everybody's like, regardless how you feel towards Joe Rogan, that's why so many people are he's like the most sought after dude to wanna. If you're trying to get a movement going or anything going, go to Joe Rogan. You get your message out there fast as hell.
The keyword influencer.
Yeah, influencer. But nah, yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot of shit from him. How he was talking about like how he first started doing the podcast, and they were reckless like how we are now.
In the
We've
very
been doing it
beginning,
for a while, but we're still reckless. We still talk over each other. Then he was giving tips on how to do it, like pretend you're playing like tennis or ping pong.
I go
Like
back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
serve, get a ball. Like,
Oh, that's perfect. That's okay.
mhm.
I'm going with that for 2022 with this podcast. We're gonna try to do
Yeah,
it
I
like
told
that.
you that 2 years ago, but we still.
Oh,
don't-
really?
Yeah. I said, hey,
My bad.
imagine we're playing ping pong.
I forgot about all that. So what just happened? Like,
Pass the ball to you, and then you can talk.
we've been dealing with the pandemic for the past 2 years, so that's my excuse for forgetting that.
Also, like the cussing, we got to tone down on that.
Yes, I know.
But it
I
is
hate
kind of like,
it turns me off, and I'm realizing I'm doing it. I hate
yeah,
it.
it's
I'm trying to get better.
kind of cringy when I go back and edit. I was like, damn,
That sounds
That's too
stupid.
much.
That sounds stupid. Like I get what I'm saying, but
trying to use
try to clean it up.
big words and shit, you know?
Like,
But then the word is not even big.
I'm like, fuck. You know what? Just keep moving.
Where were we? Oh, yeah. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. iTunes member.
Yes.
Give us that 5 stars. All right. So today, Chris is going to be talking about,
Oh, you want me to go first?
yeah, because we're going to use your story in the main title.
All right.
Then we're going to talk about my stuff.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your shit. I'm really excited for that one.
I got a naughty. No, it's not naughty.
No, it's not naughty, but it's funny. All right, so anyways, happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a great New Year. Hope shit was good. Hope you had a blast. Now that the world's going back to normal, well, not normal, but you know, everybody's doing that shit again. So hopefully you listen to this podcast on your way home from work. You know, you sit in the shitty traffic or whatever. So let's get it. So okay, first of all, I'm gonna say shout out to my friend Danny, who she actually told me about this story about 2 weeks ago. She wanted to explain to me like she comes across, I don't know how she comes across weird stories on TikTok, which I'm really surprised by this that TikTok has got this kind of content, but it's about a town that where it rained like gelatin, like these little blobs out of the sky back in 1994, and so upon like when she told me the story, I started checking it up a little bit, and upon hearing it, this was actually an unsolved mystery. Like on season 9, episode 2 or something, or episode 7 or something. But this actually was on also Unsolved Mystery back then. I don't even remember even seeing this episode.
Oh, it was on Unsolved Mystery?
Yes, there was an Unsolved Mystery before, yes.
That is strange, though. Like,
This is hella strange. This is...
I can't even imagine, like, anything but water falling out of the sky.
Man.
But, like, blob-type gelatin?
Little gelatin. Little, this is like the size of like a grain of rice or something.
It's like somebody was doing, like, a science experiment.
They got theories, man.
And then they made, like, these gelatin clouds.
And...
Because, I mean, come on. It hails.
And gelatin...
Like raining ice.
And with gelatin, it doesn't mean you should eat it. Definitely don't eat this shit. This is horrible.
Jello. What's his name?
Bill Cosby.
Yeah, that dude's...
With the Jello pudding and
he
the
still
pudding
alive?
pops and the Jello pudding. What? Yeah, he's still hanging in there. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Black don't crack. What?
Just give pills. It does give pills though. Okay, so all right. So the story is basically like the blob. Okay, so this is a story. Actually, you start researching on it. This actually happened like in 1994 in this small town called Oakville, Washington. Their population is like
1,000?
No, less than that. It's like
Really?
723 people.
Ugh, that's gross.
I know.
Because everybody's like dating each other.
Everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
It's like cheers.
Remember that time we ran a train on?
Grandma, like I don't know. It's like yeah, but small towns a little too much for me.
Cornelius laid that train.
I know people that live in small towns and they hate it. It's everybody knows each other's business.
Because there's like, they do dark shit.
Yes, and then guess what? Nobody's gonna know but the town.
It's like they have their own government and everything.
Dude, it's like they could commit like what was that one thing on Netflix? The guy that killed somebody or he got accused of killing somebody at the house, but his nephew got pulled into it. But they kind of found out the cops were lying about it. I can't think of it.
I don't know. I
So
don't
Shock, if you remember this, let me please.
It's like a murder show.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called though.
I can't really watch stuff like that, man. Because it makes me want to do it. I'm just playing shit.
Oh, I almost walked the hell out this room so fast. I was like, hey guys, we'll be back in a little
I
bit.
was like, all right, okay.
I'm listening.
Keep pulling my tail. You know, like teasing me and shit.
All right, let's get this shit started. All right, so basically, okay, so to start, so this story takes place in Oakville, Washington, right? So it's on August 7th, 1994. Like this crazy ass rainstorm had started, right? It covered, I think, a 20-mile radius, but it lasted for, I want to say maybe a 3-week time frame. But it started like,
Damn.
but when it first started,
Was it like slip and slide, and everybody was sliding around?
well, no, like how it first started was it happened at 3 a.m. That's the first time the gelatin started raining from the sky. It rained down at 3 o'clock in the morning, and most likely the only people that was up at 3 in the morning, probably working a third shift or drunk or something. But most people asleep, so people waking up the next day, seeing all this gelatin all over the ground and stuff. People were like picking it up, like, oh yeah, like this one lady picked it up. She was like observing it, and she wound up getting like crazy sick, and she started like developing like severe flu-like symptoms, to where I think it was like she ended up in a hospital, but like she had the flu for like these flu-like symptoms for like 7 weeks.
Damn.
So for like 2 to 3 months she was sick, and everybody that was in contact was getting sick. Flu. I think if you have like the flu, was it last maybe a week, like 7 days max, but 7 weeks people getting sick.
I think after the second week of me having the flu,
I would be so scared.
I'd be like, hey, just pull the plug.
Just do it.
I'm like, what plug, man? You're still at home. It's like I already gave up and shit.
It says yeah, for real, I'm like, oh, this is not gonna end.
I'm out. I can't walk. Fuck it.
It hurts. Just pull the plug. It says the blob rain reportedly came down in torrents and covered as much as 20 square miles. Anyone with the vicinity of this strange rain came down with severe flu-like symptoms. And it says police officer David Lacey was on patrol with a civilian friend when the blobs began raining down at 3 a.m. in the morning. And this is what he says in this account. He says, we turned our windshield wipers on, and it just started smearing all the gelatin across his windshield. We both looked at each other and we said, geez, this isn't right. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere, basically. Where did this come from? So that's the cop that was working at night, 3 a.m. Like, okay, it's raining. Riding with some. He was riding with like a civilian friend. Might be like a side chick. That's just me thinking outside of it, but it ain't got nothing to do with anything. Was a civilian hanging out with a cop at 3 a.m.? Who knows? But it was chilling. Look, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story.
Small town.
1994.
Look. Nothing's on TV.
We got
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. Probably getting some sloppy toppings. Oh shit, it's raining. And it's smearing his windshield. He's like, oh my god, hey, get up. Huh? What's up? Oh my god, what's happened to the windshield? And it's
Move your head real quick.
Move your head real quick. Oh, stop biting. Look, you see that shit?
Shell shock. He says, fire up my suicide box.
Let's go.
I'm out. Clock me out, please.
It says, even after Officer Lacey pulled into a gas station to clear up his windshield, he further noticed the bizarre consistency of this goo, right? So he winds up saying also, and he's quoted as saying, the substance was very mushy. It's almost like if you had Jell-O in your hand and you made pretty much squish it through your fingers.
I know exactly the texture.
The texture of it, like
it's like playing with those like that gelatin type.
Yeah, squeeze between your fingers. You can squeeze through like even the smallest crack of your finger. Like
yeah.
Just squeeze hard enough.
It's like that jelly Asian candy. If you guys not, yeah, it's like an Asian snack. It's like jelly, and then they would have like lychee, like a little square lychee in the middle. So fucking good.
What?
It's addicting, dude. That's not even made for kids. It's made for adults. But kids, they be eating it, and they don't know how to eat food because
they're kids.
They're cuckoo. And then they be choking on that little square lychee piece of fruit because it was on the news when I was out in Cali. Yeah, it was. Kids were choking on it.
Oh.
So then they were trying to ban it. I was like, it's too good to ban it. Just stop giving it to the kids.
That's it.
So it's still around.
That's what Four Loko should have did.
Oh my God.
Four Loko used to be hell when it first came. The first time I had Four Loko, you put me on the Four Loko. I came back on vacation one time. Yes, I'm just saying it. That Four Loko shit.
You're tainting my reputation.
That's right. The first time I had it, I came back home on vacation. I was still in the military. Four Loko. I was like, holy shit, this may be dangerous.
It is dangerous.
And then they dumped it down, and now nobody drinks it anymore.
Yeah, every time we would go to the club, right? Dude, it would be like groups of people in parking lots chugging Four Lokos.
Oh my God, I'm going to throw up just hearing that.
Before we even get in the club, everybody's fucking...
They done.
Wilding out. I was like, damn, there's a club outside.
Like, the party's outside. They out there drinking.
Hold on.
They're not paying for drinks. They probably just bought it from home.
They want water? Because they're so fucking trash, you know?
Four Loko. All right, so it says... Okay, so anyways, the cop was saying before that we did have some bells go off in our head that basically said this isn't right. This isn't normal. And then so so while wound up raining out there these little blobs. It says meanwhile the blobs fell from the sky elsewhere, roughly half the size of grains of rice, at the farm, the home of Sonny Barcliff. Basically, this is the story of where at this farm. This is when what's her name, Dottie Hearn. She was actually one of the first people to end up in the hospital because she walked to the house. She was like, "What the hell's on the ground?" And she touched it with her bare hands. The little gelatin. She touched it. She's like, "Okay, it's kind of weird, whatever." And then she wound up getting infected with like
It's probably radioactive.
some kind of they said it was like some kind of bacteria within it. That's how she wound up getting sick.
Like an alien bacteria, huh?
That's I fell from a portal or something. Nothing made sense about this little gelatin.
Maybe in that split second, there's like a portal that opened up between like this reality and like a parallel reality that had weird ass rain.
Just sprinkled on us. That's what I was thinking because they literally have no explanation on how this happened.
They can't explain that. That's too weird.
It's too strange.
It's too weird.
Says so they says so she, like I was saying before, she winds up like when she was out there and after she touched it, she started feeling dizziness after a while, and then she started feeling nauseous. She was like, okay, whew, I need to go to the hospital. And then when she went to the hospital, it kept getting worse, and the doctor was like,
Sounds like COVID.
You know. I wasn't gonna say that, but
Was
yes,
this pre-COVID? COVID 94?
94. Yeah, maybe that's where COVID came from. Globs.
COVID been around forever.
Came from globs.
They
Rain
just
globs.
keep modding it. They keep updating the files. Like, all right, we got a stronger strain. This one is like,
It's always been here.
this one will stay for a while.
You just call it
Shell-
H1N1. What's up?
Shell Shock says, life imitates art because this sounds like Watchmen.
Oh fuck. Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
It's crazy how there's so much weird stuff that's happening. It's almost like you can't even make that shit up no more.
Oh man, that's why TV shows run out of ideas. Like South Park is struggling to think of new stuff because
TV shows can't even.
this reality is getting like
Yeah.
somebody's at the sleep of the controls of this simulation. Somebody spilled coffee on the keyboard. Somebody's sleeping on the Z button. Something's happening. This is insane right now.
Oh my god. It's weird.
It's very weird. Okay, so what is it, right? In one attempt to identify the substance, the blobs were reported to contain human white blood cells.
What the fuck? So it just gets more weird?
Upon further investigation by the Washington State Department of Ecology's Hazardous Materials Spills Response Unit, these cells from the blobs were also found to have nuclei, which having a nuclei almost makes it like a
What is that?
organic, like it's a living thing. It's not like an object or
like
something. If I'm thinking correctly on it,
An organism. Huh?
it just shows that shit, this shit exists. Now it could be like either a living bacteria, but it shows that with the nuclei that this is not just a inanimate object or just a raindrop. This is like something that's technically alive, and it's affecting.
So the
people.
blob is actually alive.
On some level, yes. On if it's got a nuclei, I'm
It has some
assuming
white blood cells.
the white blood cells, which what the hell?
It has a brain.
Yeah, I'm like, does it think? Does it move? Is it?
It gives off electricity and shit. It has a spark.
And yeah, so it says determined to find answers. Nearly a year after her mother's illness, Barcliff took a sample of the blob that she stored into her freezer to a private research lab, which was actually kind of smart. The daughter of the lady who got sick.
Oh, what is she, a scientist?
She was like, yo, I know a guy.
Let me get my sample kit pack.
She scraped it up. She kept it in the freezer for a year, and I guess she was more likely she's probably calling around for a year to. I need to find somebody's going to study it,
Test it.
Yeah, and she wound up finding somebody. There was like this microbiologist named Tim Davis, who actually said, because he actually like looked at like the microscope and stuff. And after he studied, he said, I saw what I think was eukaryotic cell.
Eukaryotic.
Cell? I'm sorry, guys. Which is basically a cell that has a definable nucleus and is found present in most animals. So this shit is like straight living. Then when he finally really went into it, like, he's like, oh shit, this shit's alive.
So it has like some animal DNAs.
Or just like maybe not on the function of that of a human, but yeah, maybe on a function of like, oh shit, this is kind of like functions like an animal, more of an animal than like human white blood cells.
That's weird.
Man, strange. So honestly, out of all the theories that I came across with this story, I think ours is was probably the best with the portal because that's the only one that makes sense to me. Because they had all these conspiracies coming out of where, I think they were saying like at first, people had these theories of, oh yeah, this plane, this aircraft, this commercial aircraft flew overhead and dumped out like the blue waste inside of the toilets, and it fell to the clouds, got mixed into the clouds, and then eventually it rained down on us. But then the FAA came out and said, yeah, we don't like. First of all, our stuff is blue, not clear, because the gelatin was clear. There was no color to it. It was like if it was blue,
corrected them real quick.
yeah, if the airlines was like, yeah, if it was us, it would have been blue. Like this ain't.
Like, hold on 1 second. What color is that? It's clear.
That ain't us.
I rest my case.
Case closed.
It's like, yeah, we do dump shit out while the planes are flying, but that's not ours.
That ain't us. Our shit is blue. This is
Sorry, Missouri.
right.
Flight 747, they just dropped the whole load. My bad.
Oops. Yeah, so that was one of the first conspiracies that they dumped it out. Another conspiracy is that
That was a pretty good attempt, though.
what?
That do sound plausible.
That makes
Hey,
sense.
that's the first time I use that word.
There we go. We're learning. We are
2022.
learning. Yeah.
And then the people listening is like, wait, that's not even.
Oh my
that's
God,
not
he
even a
thinks
big
he's
word.
No, somebody's listening saying, "Oh my God, does Billy think he's better than us now?" Like,
I'm
plausible.
flabbergasted.
And I'm not listening.
Just start
anymore.
throwing all these like words we learned in 5th grade.
This is preposterous. Is that a word?
Yeah,
I feel like I made it up just.
I learned that in 7th grade.
All right, so we have that since us. So okay. All right. So that was one theory, was that the plane dumped all the blue water stuff. Speculations arose not long afterward on what the blobs were. One popular theory suggests that the blobs were the result of a bombing runs done by nearby military in the ocean 50 miles away. So Air Force or Navy, who the hell's got the jets, they were doing like practice bombing runs out in the ocean. Because this is out in Washington. So they right there in the Pacific. There's a lot of damn area to be testing shit. The flying planes out there, they're testing bombs out there. Supposedly theories that they destroyed a shit ton of jellyfish. Their bodies got destroyed and got evaporated into the clouds, and then it rained down the goop.
Oh, they're really reaching.
Yes, this.
What are the odds of all that shit happening perfectly?
And of course, the military was like, no. Oh, and actually, it was the Air Force that did too. It says even though the Air Force confirmed that. So here's the thing, though, they do bombing runs though, off the coast, like 50 miles off the coast at the time, 50 miles off the coast of Oakville, Washington. So they were doing bomber runs because the Air Force confirmed it. Like, yeah, we do bomb runs. And it says like, they've been performing them over the Pacific during that time when that rain did happen. But they deny any knowledge of the unknown substance or any involvement in creating or dispersing.
I don't know. I'm not buying it. It do sound really cool though, but
But the jellyfish stuff.
yeah.
But then this thing, there was another thing that happened too. That lady, I think it was the lady who collected the samples and then sent it off to the lab or whatever. And some other people, she was the only one that done it too. So other people that collected samples to sent it off to labs. Some of them samples went missing.
Ooh.
And nobody knows. Somebody knows something, but nobody is saying anything. I think I think the people in town really don't know, but
When evidence go missing, that means there's like a side story.
cover up.
That's the real story. So
Yes.
like something is actually trying to be, they're trying to really figure out where the hell this shit came from.
Yeah.
Because it's not from Earth, guys.
Hell no.
Shock says, it sounds plausible.
What
Yeah,
is?
the jellyfish thing. I give them credit for that. I was like, really? Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. They're really trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah. So or maybe they was like, oh shit, experiment went wrong. We need to
Yeah.
wipe out evidence.
I have to use the restroom really bad.
Do your thing, man.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah, I can keep going if you want.
Okay, hold on. We'll be right. You mess up, you can die.
It's only a matter of time before they start like right now they're doing like laser eye surgery and stuff. It's only a matter of time before they just give you new eyes. They just pop out the old ones, put some new eyes in. You ain't gotta worry about glasses anymore. It's only a matter of time.
What if I told you it's already happening?
Well, I don't. That sounds horrifying. Honestly, that sounds
I
horrifying.
mean, they
I
do
don't even
organ
wanna-
transplant. What makes you think that the eye thing is not possible?
Because the eyes is very complex. That shit is probably. I would
Think
think
about
the
a
eyes,
camera lens. That's very complex too. Camera lens.
Yeah, true.
It works the same way like how our eyes work.
You ever heard the thing that we actually see upside down, but our eyes make the correction of flipping it?
Yeah,
That's how insane the eyes are. I don't even understand how the eye works. It's just here.
organic machines, man. We're made by
The machines will figure it out.
We are
though.
created by something.
Something.
What are we, an accident? Come on, like we're like,
Would that be horrifying if that was really the answer?
yeah, I'll be scared.
Sometimes I'll be like, yo, what if this is all just
I
like,
was like, wait,
roll of the dice?
we're really an accident? Hard to believe.
Sometimes I do play with that thought. I'm like, oh, what if this shit just
You want me to tell you the truth? If you guys can handle it? You know who created everything?
beers?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Samuel. Satan. Lucifer.
Oh, I thought you were saying Samuel Jackson. But I'm tripping. Yeah, Samuel, yeah.
It's the one that created everything. He was in the position to create it, pretty much Earth. He gave us life.
Boom. And here we are.
Watch when you guys die, and then you'd be like, "Oh shit, Billy Waters was on some fucking shit."
Yeah, that's the last thing I'm be worried about when he dies.
Yeah.
I knew Billy was right.
I got in contact with somebody that I swear to God, this guy knows everything. Like, because it resonated so much with me, with my trip and everything. I was like, dude, this guy's like almost living like my second life. But the way he explained it is so technical. I was like, holy shit, this guy knows.
He knows what's
'Cause
up.
I've been through like, what he described is like I've been through it too. So I've been through like dimensions and stuff, which was, when I heard him talk about it, I freaked out, but I was happy because I know I'm not
You're
alone.
not alone, yeah. That's the best feeling.
And I was like, I listened to him and I was like, holy shit, this dude, for some reason, he can remember everything without psychedelics. Since he was like a kid, I was like, wow.
So it's like that true photographic memory.
And I listened to the podcast 3 times, and it's a 2-hour podcast.
Oh my
So I listened to this shit for 6 hours.
I would have
I
broke
just
that.
started writing notes down. I was like, dude, I started breaking the whole shit down. I was like, dude, this guy is on.
What? So you listened through it 3
I
times?
listened to it twice when I was on COVID, and then I listened to it again today at work. Because it was
It changed.
for
it's
me,
game
it was one of the things that it's so hard to find like a connection like that with somebody where it's almost so accurate, where it really freaks you out. But there's somebody that exists on this world that's speaking just like you.
I feel like that's like with a lot of people out there in the
Yeah,
world.
there
Even on
is.
so many levels. Just like,
He said that too, because there's thousands of people just like that, like light people, the people, because there's like a balance. There is supposed to be good and evil. It's supposed to happen. I can explain it later, but it's supposed to be the evil stuff that you see. It's all that's supposed to happen, because that's what keeps everything spinning. That keeps the earth rotating.
yeah, you can't, things can't be too good.
Yeah, it can't.
It's like, oh shit. I'm going to go to Matrix rant for a second.
What?
A Matrix rant.
Matrix.
Matrix. I went to
Oh.
Matrix. All right, so if anybody's familiar with the Matrix, that reminds me of the Matrix, right? What you were saying, where people, like, what we just talking about, like how if people are too happy, it might off balance some stuff, right? All right, so for anybody who's not familiar with the Matrix, it's basically just humans and robots start going to war with each other. For whatever reason, look it up, whatever. But humans want going to war with the machines. Humans lost. They get put in these pods, and they start cloning humans. And then because humans are basically enslaved and basically kept in these machines to believe that they're in a dream.
Right.
So the first time the machines within the Matrix, right, the first simulation they ever created was way too happy for the humans within the pods. So everybody's like all happy all the time, and then humans, because reality is like is never happy. It's it can be really soul crushing. It kind of makes people cynical. And while these people were plugged into the very first version of the Matrix that the machines
it's
created,
all perfect.
everything's all perfect. Humans started noticing something was off. It was like, this is like kind of weird. Like, why is everything so happy? And then so the machines was like, you know what? End this program. We're done with this. We're creating a new simulation.
Yeah.
So they got rid of it. That's no longer a happy world.
Because it doesn't work.
So the version 2 of the Matrix was actually a horror. Like every single horror creature we've ever heard in real life, from like Michael Myers, Jason, Candyman, the Boogeyman, everything. All these Dracula, the Mummy, everything. In this new version of Matrix, they all existed as these programs because machines don't really understand humans.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, they don't like being happy. Maybe they always want to be scared, and they just overdid it with the next version of the Matrix, where everything was a fucking horror movie. Like you walk out of a room and you're getting stabbed. People was getting wiped out, and it was like, okay, you know what? we need to figure out
Too much fear.
it's too much fear. We need to find
Let's
something.
crank it down a
Let's
little
crank it
bit.
down somewhere in the middle, and they finally start perfecting the Matrix. So
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like to me right now.
And
That's
then
what it sounds like that.
and then there'll be times where like it's too good, right?
Yeah.
Everything's so good where they said, okay, we gotta balance this out. Hey, send your boy Hitler. Let's balance this out right now.
Just bring him in.
Hitler was born.
The Hitler program. Bring him in. Doo-doo.
Oh, she want to get an abortion. Cancel that. Make sure the mom don't get an abortion, and we're gonna have that little baby Hitler, because we're gonna need Hitler to balance out like the good and evil.
The balance. We need
Because at
somebody.
that time, everything was so peaceful. Like, we need somebody to fucking
I mean, America was pretty.
drop the hammer. You
America
know?
was pretty fucked up then too. But as far as like a world, a problem that the world had to get involved in. Yeah, that was.
You ever heard about the Jew
Max.
conspiracy?
I don't even want to know. It's probably anti-Semitic.
How the Jews actually they created their own Holocaust?
See, I don't
Like, they were-
I'm not going down this road. This is. I can see where this is
Yeah.
going. I'm
Like,
good.
I just heard this different podcast. They were talking about it. I was like, holy shit, this shit got dark fast.
Yo, that's.
They're saying like the Jews, they were like, there's like a conspiracy about them that they are the ultimate evil. They're the one that caused everything. They're like the main one that did everything, and they did their own Holocaust.
I don't even believe that because that's how the
Yeah,
Holocaust
this
started.
is just like fake bird theory, you know.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
That shit scares me when they start blaming people.
We can
or
make
something.
up our own fucking
See,
conspiracy.
Cell Shock says, "Don't do it." Melissa says, gonna
Crank up the gas chambers.
I was like, that's
Where the gas? Where the gas? But I gotta take a quick break. Gotta tie up my shoes real quick.
I gotcha.
Be right back, guys. All right. You have anything else?
I got a funny story. Well, it's not really funny. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I want to laugh because laughing. You know what laughing does? It raises your vibration.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I can see it can make your day better.
That's why like you see like funny shit happening like where people exaggerate, everything that they learn from the internet and shit, and then they start their own little gym class, laughing class, and then they do fake laughs. That shit doesn't work.
Like fake laughing?
Fake laugh? No.
No, I've done it before and it gives you a headache.
Like what I do, like before the podcast, I watch funny videos on YouTube, and I watch old videos like from 10 years ago. Like that one kid where he went to the dentist and he got high on whatever.
You know, his
gas.
name Daniel or some shit.
So fucking funny.
It's classic. That kid's probably paying
My
taxes
boy
now.
Rocco was like,
Oh, you talking about that kid? I think you're talking
Yeah.
about the one in the back. He was like, "Is this real life?"
no, that's not funny.
What? That was hilarious.
It might be funny. I like that. My boy Rocco.
But no, that's actually probably my personal favorite though. Yeah, that was.
His,
In Dubai.
his, he was talking to his mom. He was like, "What you talking about, freaky woman?" I was like, "God." Hey, you laughing, man?
Didn't he say something to the nurse too?
Yeah, because the nurse
'Cause the
said,
nurse came in.
"I want to go to Dubai," and he was like, "You ain't never been to
You never
Dubai,
been,
man.
man. Yes, you never been
You
to Dubai.
lie." And then what's funny is like, "Hey, you laughing?" And then he was like, who's that?
Who that? He's like,
He ain't even there no more." So he saw like a ghost. Yeah, it's like, who that? He ain't even here no more. I was like, holy shit.
oh, he
That's-
must cross over to the other side.
I bet that ghost like, oh fuck, he saw
Oh
me.
shit! Because he's like,
He
he's right.
ain't even there no more. I was like, oh, that's real. The reaction was so real. But then he was so fucking high. I was like, fuck it, it's so funny.
He's close to the gates, man.
But yeah, we're back, guys. What we got?
All right. Says this ain't really a funny story. What do you say?
Raise the frequency a little bit.
Says,
Vibrations.
Says cats. It says holy shit. Okay. It says cats. Keep them off the stove. Officials warn. The pets started over 100 house fires in South Korea.
Cats?
Cats. They're like on stoves. Accidentally hitting buttons or something. I don't even know what a stove in South Korea looks like, but they are setting fires and they destroyed like 100 homes at this point. So now officials are saying,
Wait, this is a new thing.
this shit just happened, man.
Okay, so here's the problem.
This shit is new. This shit was like, what's today?
It's not the cats that's the problem.
January 4th.
Like, if it's something new like that, then whoever the stove designer probably fucked up on the design.
Yeah, no cat should be able to push a damn button.
Yeah,
to
so
blow
whoever
your shit up.
designed the stove, they weren't thinking about a cat could be doing it.
But on the flip side, though, I'm assuming everybody has this damn stove, so it's what would be easier, telling people to keep your cats off the stove or telling everybody to get rid of their stove? But you need a stove, though. So
Get rid of the stove. Get a new stove.
Honestly, yeah, there should be a recall for all that shit. But anyway, it says a South Korea fire department said last week that 107 house fires have been started by cats in the past 3 years, cautioning pet owners and residents in the region of unexpected disasters at the hands of their felines. And this happened now. Oh, it says the statement was released Thursday by the Seoul Metropolitan Fire Disaster Department, which is Seoul is the capital, if I'm not mistaken, of South Korea. Noted that staging number of house fires caused by cats between January 2019 and November of this year came as a result of cats accidentally switching on electric stoves by jumping on sensitive buttons on the appliances. So that shit, recall all that. If that's just what it is, it's sensitive buttons.
Yeah, it's a stove.
Yeah, it's a stove.
It can't be like a new phenomenon like cats. They all called each other and said, hey, we're going to start stepping on this stove.
Let's burn these humans up.
Yeah, so the problem is that whoever the manufacturer was.
Yeah, but it's stupid. Like, make them do the recall. Like, don't. They make it seem like, hey, the cats are the problem, but not the appliance.
It's
the
whoever
appliance.
made it. Yeah.
That's straight up. That's a lot. In America, that would be a lawsuit. You could fight that in court, I think. I would assume. It says, according to South Korea Fire Department, 4 of the people in the fires were injured, and more than half came when pet owners were not actually in the home. Precautionary measures to be put in place may include putting covers over appliances or removing knobs from stoves. Look, if you gotta do all that, just look, whatever. Whatever. It says that cat-related fires are continuing to occur recently. We advise households with pets to pay extra attention as fire could spread wildly when no one is at home. And that was from the the fire department. Somebody that worked in the fire department said that. That was a Chung Go Chul fire department dude said that shit. South Korea is not alone in pet-related disasters. Pets are responsible for around 1,000 house fires in the United States every year per data from American Housing Association. Damn.
Who do these cats think they are?
Cats are chill. I like cats, man. I can
Cats, they have like this god complex.
They do.
I think like cats, they come from like a dimension where they already made it past the enlightened dimension where they're in the realm of gods, where they know everything, and then they choose to come back to Earth as a cat. Because how cats are treated in like America, for example, they're treated like kings. Like they do everything for them, and their life is so easy. So they're just chilling around. That's why, dogs, they're all afraid of them because they know, like in the past, who's the boss? Was felines. Yeah. From the beginning, felines were the boss. Who's the big cat in the jungle?
Big cats, because cats usually don't even have they don't usually have even predators. They have like no natural predator, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah.
But you have to think about too. Back in Egypt, they used to be worshipped. Cats nowadays probably remember
they're still worshipped.
Remember talking about like a genetic like memories or something, like you remember stuff from the past, but genetic trauma or something like that. Like,
passed down into your DNA.
Like how birds know how to fly north, fly south for the winter. Like, but the birds taking these trips have never experienced it. So how would they know to fly this flight unless?
Yeah, because they were already programmed from the beginning. So every time they're born, they keep reborning, and then they carry on that same DNA, same pattern, just like us, like humans.
Carrying it on.
That's why, like some humans, right? They go through life, and then they have like these crazy life experience where they remember past lives, and then that's like freaky to them. But it's so hard to explain to regular people because it doesn't sound real.
Yeah.
Because nobody would believe you because it'd be like, prove it.
How can you? Oh, that's like, I don't know if Christina's still here, but she sent me a video the other day, right? Mm-hmm. It was off of TikTok. And my friend Christina was like, this reminded me of the podcast. It was a video of like 2 guys that were talking about, basically it was like a theory of like reincarnation. These 2 guys were talking about how, the reason why when you're born into this world crying, because you still have memories of when you died before.
That's what I said.
And you come into it, and then when you get older, when we talked about before.
About it.
And that's why I was laughing so hard when she sent me that video. I was like, I feel like we've done this, but
we did.
This is some next level shit.
I did talk about that because like the baby's crying because the baby's crying remembering what the fuck happened.
But as time goes on, you forget it.
Yeah. So when as the child progresses in life, he ends up forgetting like the past experience.
Because you're accepting this new life, this new simulation, if you will. But then there's some people like that one kid who was like, I was a World War II pilot, and then did it like that one little boy. Like, like I crashed and I didn't survive. Like
I was in
are
that
the
plane 245.7.65.
those are the ones that
serial
didn't.
number.
Those are the ones who didn't really break that from the old life.
Well, since we're alive today, right now,
Yeah.
we live many lives already,
Yeah.
and we're still repeating it. Why? Because we never figured it out.
So you think we figure out something to get past this?
I have another theory about
What
this
if it's
whole shit.
What if this is all a prison?
Yes.
We just stuck here. Just
You know who's
living
trapping us?
shit. Who?
Mother Earth.
Damn.
She trapping us. Trap queen. We're repeating
Why?
lives. It's to keep. It's like this dimensions, third dimension, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said there was 9 dimensions.
Yeah, we talked about it.
The 9th dimension will be the God dimension,
Okay.
right? All these dimensions, they run in unity, like everything runs perfect together. Third dimension, our dimension. The first dimension, they don't have no sight of second dimension or third dimension. They see everything one dimension, so they see everything perfect,
Okay.
right? So their shit is like perfect. Second dimension is, I forgot, but third dimension is us. We're the only dimension where we can actually live like this.
Like 3D.
This is the
move
fun
around,
dimension.
The physical.
Yeah, this is the only dimension where there's a thing with good and evil. We're the only dimension that, has the definition good and evil.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, right? Like, how could you even define, like, evil, right? We live on a planet on Earth where every creature has to kill each other to survive.
It's all survival. Yeah.
Is kill or be killed. Whoever kill that other animal, they get to eat them. So, like, let's say, it's bad because Chris killed some dude, right? So we label Chris, you're evil. You killed that dude. But then when a lion kills a fucking zebra, is that lion evil too?
I think it's based off the context of the choice on why you murder somebody. Now it could be like you defending somebody, or
Yeah. But then it goes back to how us here on Earth, we're the only dimension that can distinguish what's good and evil. We're the one that put the label.
man, shit, it's a damn
Like
law.
he killed 50 people is evil.
Yeah, it's a damn law. I mean, shit.
Because we put the label on good and evil. Because if you go to another dimension, shit doesn't exist. Shit is just running. It's like
Just natural order.
yeah. So our third dimension is the only dimension that has like rules like that. Where Hitler killed like millions of Jews, evil.
Hell yeah, rightfully so.
You know, but let's say Hitler in another dimension,
he just stayed up.
normal.
He stayed
He's
there.
supposed to do that because his his role, is job. His job is to do that.
He stayed a painter. I'm like,
Yeah. So it's so crazy, man. I got in so deep with these dimensions and stuff, and then when they
It's
explain
insane.
it like that, I was like,
It's the multiverse, man. The multiverse. That's it. The multiverse is trippy if you believe
because
in it.
like. You know how they say like we're all one, right? We're unity, we're all one. Like if I cause pain to you, I make you feel like shit, I do all these bad things to you. I'm pretty much doing it to myself. So you have to think about that, like how you treat people, because you're pretty much treating people how you treat yourself. Because
You have to.
if we're one, right, why would you treat that
Somebody
person
else.
like that?
I learned that early when I was a kid. Very early. My mother always taught me that, hey, do you would you want to be treated like this, this, and this, and this? I'm
Because
like,
of that insect, right, that you fucked up?
yes. Me and my sister. Damn, you good. You remember that story?
Yeah.
There was a story back when I was a teenager, maybe a little bit younger than that. Me and my younger sister, Lisa, we used to go around during the summertime, right? We used to do like barbecues in our backyard. And because it's Georgia, you got a shit ton of wasps everywhere. And we used to like slap them with fly swatters. And if they didn't die immediately, we would take them and we would dump them in like, because we used to have like these candles. out in the back.
Wax.
You have like wax, like
Yeah.
to help keep like the mosquitoes away. Like the scent was like, it smelled horrible, but it was effective to keep the mosquitoes away. But we used to dump the mosquitoes within the wax. We dump them in there and we'd be like, yeah, kill them, the assholes. And then my mom saw it one day and she was like, look, would you want to die because of that's just what you are? And it's just like what you doing right now? Like they're already in pain. Now you're making them suffer. Like she's like, you guys, just think about it. Don't really stop doing it. Now my younger sister, I don't think it really clicked with her because she just kills spiders. She I don't know if she kills wasps with her, but my sister will go and kill spiders just because they just there
Because they exist.
because they exist. And me, I did take that to heart way back when she told me that, and that kind of ruined the fun for me of doing it. But at the same time, it made me realize a whole different reality of like, you know what? If people are going through stuff and they're hurting and actually legit hurting, I'm kind of stand behind that. They should just need to stop. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it may be extremely empathetic with life going forward as an adult, but it started with me killing wasps when I was a kid, and my mom, she put that in my brain. And I don't know.
Yeah, because your mom is like one of the people that's trying to keep people together.
Yeah,
Like
she's like
unity. Because there's always people that's trying to separate shit. Your mom is one of the ones that trying to make you realize, hey, like look what you're doing. Like,
yeah.
almost like you're saying, hey, you don't think that, like, let's say in another realm, like what you're doing is
you
actually
could-
evil.
Or like,
Like they will look at you like a Hitler because you do shit like that.
or a lot of things too was where my mom was like, well, if you was this wasp, because you're just trying to exist, would you want somebody to kill you, and you just trying to be a wasp? And I was like, no. Mom was like, then maybe I should stop.
Grab the wasp.
That like destroyed my entire reality, and I was like, oh my god. And I've been empathetic to way too much stuff ever since then. But I'm glad you remember that. That was
I'm like an elephant, dude.
you're good. That was good. I actually forgot all about the story. I forgot I
That's
even
why,
told
like,
you.
don't like ever lie to me because I remember.
You're like, you motherfucker.
But if I catch you, I don't say nothing though.
Just let it
Because you
ride.
know I'm like, this is human behavior. I do it myself too sometimes, and then I catch myself like, oh, that's embarrassing. I wonder if they caught it.
And you just keep
But we're
moving.
humans, you know. That's
So, you
we're
just accept it.
fucking we're organic human beings that we make mistakes and you just own it, move on.
Move on. Don't let it eat you up inside.
Yep.
That's what drive you
But if you
nuts.
did kill somebody, hey,
Say, hey,
yeah, like I said, in this world, you're the bad guy.
that's
You're
the
bad
law.
guy. Maybe if you go fourth dimension, hey,
That's the laws of this universe. Or actually, that might be just be the law of this planet. You know, I'm telling what the laws is on another planet. It might be murders might be legal out there. You know, the universe, we got a big
Yeah.
universe out there.
well, like any other planet, they're still in this third dimension
Yeah.
because they're here with us.
But yeah, they still
Yeah.
within the rules and boundaries of.
Thank you, Samuel. Lucifer holding it down.
Let me see what Cell Shock says. He says, which theory is it that?
Wait, read the other one first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Shell Shock says in the chat, I swear at points, some of my dreams are memories from a past life.
It probably is.
I've always thought about that too.
Like the dream is like the only state where you can do anything you want. If they call it the fifth realm, where the fifth realm is like you could do whatever you want. It's like because you know everything that exists. There's no time, no nothing. Because in a dream world, right? Let's say if you're lucid dreaming, you could be like, okay, I have an axe. Boom, you got an axe. Okay, I'm in New York. Boom, you're in New York.
Yeah.
So the fifth dimension, there's no time. There's no forward, backwards. It's everything just exists all at once. That's what's so fucking cool about the fifth dimension.
It's basically
And people want to live in the fifth dimension, but I heard like the fifth dimension. What this guy was saying, he actually went to the fifth dimension. He said it was boring. Everything was just too perfect. So that's why he enjoyed more in this third dimension. You know, because once you actually get like in line like that, and then you're able to get to the fifth dimension,
Yeah.
and you're able to do like he described himself as like an electron, like in a cable, going from one point to another. Yeah, like instantly like that.
Oh.
And he was like, "Man, this shit's kind of boring. Like, let me go back to the third dimension
This shit sucks
and
over
wait
here."
for the new Kanye album.
This shit feels like a prison, man.
Where the new Hitler? I mean,
Oh.
yeah, but we need crazy shit to happen. Like that's why when you see crazy shit happen, it's always on a mass scale, big scale, because there's not a lot of like a lot of small shit that happens, bad shit, but it's not enough to create like a like make it balanced. That's why when shit happens, when there's just too much good stuff going on, something big happens on like a
Kind of brings us back down to reality.
cataclysm event.
I mean, I would say, I would even say, the pandemic. I would say, too.
Yeah.
that kind
Yeah,
of
that's like
that shit-
one way of them.
shut the whole world down, man. To the point where this is where we at. This is, like, but there's certain moments in life. I do see what you're saying. It's like just some things is kind of like, oh, it's so big that you can't even look away from it. It's
Yeah, everybody.
cause everything like most of us live like this ordinary life, 9 to 5 type job, whatever. Just try to provide for ourselves, our family, and then something will completely disrupt all reality to where we're like, oh shit, it can be worse than it can get worse than this. We were just trying to live. We were trying to make ends meet. Now here we are. What else says Shell Shock says? Did you want to say something else or?
No.
Shell Shock says in the chat, which theory is that you reincarnate, but basically this is your own universe? Oh, hell no, I did not know this. So I reincarnate into this body, but I was Chris or Billy in a different life. Basically, everyone on Earth is a life you've lived or yet to live. Oh God, that's horrifying. I don't like that. Because I thought about this before. If reincarnation is real, I always want to be me. But like, if I get reincarnated, like, well, maybe I want to be a prince, but still be Chris Jones.
But let's say like, okay,
but you, sorry.
but let's say like, okay, you get reincarnated, right? But depending on what you did in your past life, that karma carries over to your next life, right?
Karma points, yeah.
So let's say you were so fucked up, a bad person, but you were actually born into like a wealthy family, but you did that life bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you reincarnate again. They're like, all right, you had your chance. You were born with a silver spoon, but you end up killing 5,000 million Jews. That's like a wrong number, right? A couple million Jews, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, you're born a silver spoon and you did all that. Guess what? Now you're gonna reincarnate back as what's that one animal that walks like really lazy on the street? A sloth.
Yeah.
Now Hitler's a sloth.
Or what it'd be kind of
Yeah, because maybe it just depends on what this guy is saying. Something is holding us here on this earth. Like, because when we're supposed to die, we're supposed to actually ascend to like a different dimension. But actually what's happening now,
stuck in a loop.
everybody's cycling. They're cycling. Like, we talked about this before. It's like soul trap theory.
Yeah, we're stuck in a loop.
Yeah, we're stuck in a loop. We're stuck in the matrix, pretty much.
Resurrection.
Yeah, because, mother, right? In Latin, they pronounce it matix. So the word matix could translate to matrix, right? So, so the mother, her veil is like over us. So she's covering, she's protecting us kind of, but we're not really protected. But she's covering us like we're stuck in the matrix. Yeah. We're like in a veil in the matrix, which is the Mother Earth covering us, blocking us to ascend. Weird, right?
Is it blocking us because it's trying to be, like evil, or is it trying to be like we haven't learned the lessons of how this world works, and so we can't move past it until.
No, it's almost like they need this to be here for every dimension to function properly.
Yeah, I get it because
it's like everybody has like their own role to play. Their dimension. We have to be here. We have to keep this shit running.
All NPCs gotta be all hands on deck.
Fourth realm. You know what's in the fourth realm?
What?
Demons. Demons live in the fourth realm. But here's the thing: like with the demons in the fourth realm, the what you can describe them as is like dogs, right? Dogs that, they do vicious shit, but they don't even know why they do it.
No, it's just off of instinct.
Yeah,
aggression,
they run off like emotions.
Yeah.
So like the way they describe like demons in that realm, they're just doing their job too. But they're kind of like animals, but they're doing the job. They think they're doing like the right thing, because their job, right, is to keep people in the third dimension, our dimension, is to keep people divided. They don't want people to be at unity, at one, So their job is to keep people divided. So when they see like somebody doing like a really good thing, like too good to where they can influence a lot of people to be really good,
gotta knock it down.
They have to get that person out of here because that's their job. But they don't know that they're evil or good because this is just their job, right? So when somebody tries to stop that demon from doing that job, the demon's like, "Hey man, what are you doing? I'm just trying to do my job. Like, what? Why are you stopping me?" Because they don't know either. They're just as lost as us. If you think about it like that, like humans, us on third dimension, we're lost. But the demons on the fourth dimension, they're doing their own job too.
Yeah, it's like people like when they go to work, like, look, I was just following orders. I'm just doing job.
Yeah,
I'm a drone. Like,
right. It's like just like saying a cop, but then the cop is doing his thing. It's like, hey man, like this is like my job. So like when the demons are out here, like here's like one thing, like because all this shit is all around us. When bad shit happens, it's because of it's influenced like from demons, right? Because let's say like you're in public and then you come across somebody that's really wild, crazy, ratchet, and then he picks you out of everybody to fuck with. That's demons trying you. They're saying like one way you can handle this is you accept it and you love whatever the person, you show them love,
Yeah.
you know, because that's love can fucking cancel all that shit out, and then that shit will just stop. Because you'll see like some situations where guys were getting into it, and then one dude just said, "Hey man, let's just hug it out," and then boom, the whole shit squash. So demons are just they scattered, you know.
It's like, oh, too much love here.
Yeah,
Bounce
like
out.
here's like a story. Like this guy was saying, like demons would come in his dreams all the time. So he would every time he has a dream of demons, he'll have like a sword, slice them up, right? Take all the body parts, put it in like a fire, burn it all up. But he felt bad about it. It's like, damn, like why do I feel bad about this shit?
About killing demons?
Yeah, because he was like, man, am I supposed to be doing this? So then he had another dream where, because somebody told him earlier, like in real life, saying, hey, like love your enemies, you know? You don't have to fucking fight them all the time. Because here's one thing about the fourth dimension. There's no time. They will fucking fight you forever, for eternity. Like you could live like 1,000 lives, they'll fight you for 1,000 lives because there's no time in their shit. So they'll fight you all day. So the thing to counter this shit is not to fight them, is to show them love. So here's what he did, right? When he took a psychedelic trip and then he came across a demon. You know what he did to this demon when he tried to attack him?
What?
He kissed the demon on the forehead, right? And then he looked at the demon eyes. It's almost like the demon eyes got googly with like hearts, like an emoji heart. And he was like, what the fuck? You know, like he was so shocked.
What is this I'm feeling right now?
So like
just- all I
after
know is
that,
hatred.
they don't fuck with him no more. And then he became like one of the people that could be the one that brings people together.
Yeah.
And then they don't fuck with you no more. And you could talk about anything you want. People can hear your voice, and you won't get canceled. You won't get nobody fuck with you, because you accepted like, okay, the demon was here to to separate people. They're here to divide people. They're like, okay, cool. Like, I thank you for doing your job, for separating like our family, for example.
Yeah.
I thank you for that, but let me do my job. But thank you for doing that. It's almost like you're loving your enemy, loving like, okay, he killed half your family, but you still thank him, and then you can continue your life. Because you can't keep fighting them. Because like I said, fourth dimension, they got all the time in the world.
Yeah, they can do this
But you're
forever.
here for a short amount of time, so you can forgive and then move on with your own life. And then they won't fuck with you.
Oh, dude, don't let that shit burn you out.
Wow, no.
Hell yeah. It shows self-control for one.
Yeah.
Just having like,
They tried me today at work, man.
really?
Yeah, and I kept forgiving. I was like,
Y'all trying to push me to my
Thanks.
limit.
yeah, the last guy, I was like, man, fuck this shit.
I'm about to kick you in these damn tracks.
Third rail.
Shellshock says it's called The Egg by Andy Wire, and he just sent me something too. Shellshock just sent me something. I never even heard of The Egg. Was it a Wire story? I might be saying it wrong. Okay, it says so. What Shellshock just sent me says the story is about the main character who is you in the second person, and God, who is me in the first person. Says you are a 48-year-old man who dies in a car crash. Meet God, the narrator who says that you have been reincarnated many times before, and that you are next to be reincarnated as a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD.
Mulan.
It says,
Right?
God then explains that you are in fact constantly reincarnated across time, and that all human beings who have ever lived and will ever live are incarnations of you. You remark about being Abraham Lincoln, Adolf Hitler, and Jesus.
Holy shit.
God adds that you were also once John Wilkes Booth, and every Holocaust victim, and every person who followed Jesus. God explains that in fact that you are other godlike beings elsewhere, that you too will one day become God. Oh my God.
Man,
This is kind of breaking my brain.
That's the ultimate experience of like a human being.
True.
You experience like every aspect of like the good, evil, super good, and you've been through it. You've been through the torture and everything, and now you become like aware of yourself and what the meaning of your whole life is. When you become aware of like the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, this is when you can actually ascend through a higher dimension. Because you have to. It's almost like the monks knew about this shit. Because how they did like their meditations and everything, they knew like there is a higher dimension, and the only way for you to get to the fifth dimension is you gotta be happy in this dimension, and you gotta be aware of like the fourth dimension. So you gotta be like super happy,
happy of
like
this
right
world.
now, where you almost like so kind of careless, but you know like you have another life after this life, and one way you can tell, like when somebody is like when you can tell when they're ascending to the fifth dimension, is when like you go to a funeral, right? And you see like one of the person there, they're just smiling the whole time.
At the funeral?
Not because they're fucking psychotic and shit, because they're happy that this soul gets to move on into the next chapter of the life.
Yeah.
Because they understand like it's not the end.
No, it's a part of. This is a natural part of the existence
Yeah.
of
'Cause this is-
something we don't even understand.
Because the third dimension is the only dimension where we have like a physical body like this, where we have to take care of like an organic.
Gotta eat right,
yeah.
gotta exercise, and watch your weight.
Gotta watch your drugs and shit.
I always had a theory too. Maybe that's why a lot of people with the transgender community kind of see it as like, I'm not gonna try to be messy with this, but it's kind of like people talk about gender or whatever. It's like that's something that man made. Like that's man made shit. Like having a gender or something outside of this is almost like it's just like you just exist. You're not labeled as something. So
yeah, that's like another thing. Like they were saying, like only like in this third dimension will we have like a mother and a father. You know, if we go to any other dimension, they wouldn't even know what we're talking about.
a who, a what?
Like
Just-
what?
we just exist, bro. Like what the?
Yeah,
what the fuck
yeah, a
you-
guy and a girl. Wait, there's two different genders.
That's-
Like they wouldn't even comprehend like what we're trying to say.
Oh man, we talked about it before.
It's
with
so
that,
weird. It's so weird.
We
Yeah.
talked about it before. It says okay. Oh, so this is a dope part right here. It says the entire universe. Oh my god, this is too trippy. How y'all come across this stuff? How'd you find this shell shock? This is insane. It says the entire universe was created as an egg for the main character, which is in parentheses it says all of humanity. We're all the main character of our stories, which makes sense. Nobody's an NPC. We all the main character of our own stories. I guess we all take our turns being in certain positions. Not does that? I wonder if this even
I
builds.
think everybody that you communicate with, like in your circle, they're real people.
But
But
you've
the
been
people
through
like
it, though.
outside, like you drive past and stuff, they're like NPCs.
I'm trying to wonder if it's like this though, like because I have this thing with empathy where I understand people when they've gone through stuff that I've never experienced, but I have an understanding of it, and that's why like, but maybe it's because I've gone through it.
Because you're an empath.
This is making me trip. Okay, it says
Yeah. You're empath. You can feel feelings. You can feel like how people feel.
it says the entire universe was created as an egg for the main character. In parentheses, it says all of humanity, and once you have lived every human life ever, you will be born as a god. What? We could be all standing in line right now to run. I'm tripping. The reason God created the universe was for the main character, you, to understand this point. Every time you victimize someone, you were victimizing yourself. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Every act of kindness
yeah.
you've done all to yourself.
Yep.
Every happy
Think
and
about that.
sad moment, every experience by any human was or will be experienced by all.
Yeah, it lines up with everything.
I never heard.
Yeah, it lines up with everything I was saying. Like
Yeah,
how
that's
you
what's-
treat somebody.
yeah.
Like you know you're doing that shit to yourself. So
Yes,
like,
and why would you
think about that?
Would
next
you want to be
time.
treated like this if
Right.
you was yeah? I've always lived my life off of that, but
Do you want to get a train ran on you? Right?
I mean, if so, I mean, we're not here to judge, but
Choo choo.
are you hurting anybody? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the main thing is like hurting somebody. Like never cause like physical pain and emotional pain
Yeah.
on anybody, because that shit sticks.
Oh, for real.
Yep, that's the shit you carry like after you're dead. You know,
Man,
because you carry memories.
It shows up in your karma points, and let's say like, yeah, you was about to be God after this death, but yeah, you was kind of asshole this life, so we're gonna have to push you back. You can't be a god.
We're all gods. Here's how it all happened. You want me to tell you how it all happened?
What?
All right, so God, right? The sun. This is like the sun. The sun realized, saying, "Oh man, I can't experience like any life." So what the sun did, it blew up. Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang.
Blew up, right? All these rocks exploded. all the rocks that's not shined by the light, they end up becoming like planets, right? The Earth end up becoming a planet right next to the sun. The reason why like we're alive like right now, you know why?
You know what?
It's it's so perfect because of Jupiter. Jupiter gravity so strong, like it doesn't cause asteroids to hit us.
Yeah, it
'cause
pulls
they're-
everything in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's-
Jupiter was there perfectly at that spot for Earth to exist, for us to exist.
The same thing with
So-
the moon. The moon blocks a lot of comets and meteors from us too.
Right. So here's what happened. You know how there's 9 dimensions, right? The 6th dimension is the dimensions of like the creator, the dimension where you can manipulate like an earth, make it into whatever you want. It's like the designer realm. You know, Lucifer was in the 7th dimension. 7th dimension, they can control shit where they say, hey, I want to make a 6th dimension where we're gonna manufacture shit. So the 6th dimension is the manufacturer's dimension. Think of it as like a Nike shop.
Okay.
And they're designing like Nike shoes, but we're actually designing like a planet Earth, and people on it. So Lucifer was the one that created like the Earth, everything. He caused everything to happen to where we existed. Because of Lucifer, we're here now. He created like life, pretty much. So the whole story, so weird how I don't know how they made him like the bad guy, but here's one reason why he might be the bad guy, because 4th dimension, demon dimension, it's like directly in line with like the 3rd dimension. So it's almost like whatever 3rd dimension do, it affects like the 4th dimension.
There's a ripple
Whatever
effect.
the fourth dimension do, it affects like, 3rd dimension. So
That makes sense. If you can affect it on a physical level, then can you affect
like
it?
the
like,
evil side. Like, oh yeah, Lucifer was the one that's responsible for all that shit.
Okay.
Because you don't think of them like, they call them archangels, but they're not like entities with wings. They're just like an attribute of like the overall God. It's like the God, and then like these angels, it's just like a piece of God.
Yeah, they're all a piece of God.
Yeah, they call them like archangels.
And this is coming from somebody who's like, I don't get behind religion at all. Sometimes, actually, I'm not at all. But I am familiar with the story where, from my understanding, is that all the archangels were basically a piece of God.
Yeah.
But God creates humanity out of His image. But some angels got upset with that, saying like, "Yo, we were your perfect creation." Da da da.
The story is weird.
But, yeah, I'm saying
Because
like
there's some religions where they say like there's
got
only
jealous.
one God or whatever. And then there's other religions like the Hindu religion
multiple gods. Yeah.
where they're saying, oh, you could only discover God through like mathematics, through like geometry, whatever. God has no name, no nothing. You can only discover Him through mathematics. But then you go to Christian's like, okay, there's Jesus, and then there's only one God. Like straightforward. That's why the religion is so. A lot of the religions, they do have like the pieces correct, but it's too much regular humans that intervene and mix the story up to where
Oh yeah, for their own purpose and all that.
to where
Oh, for
none of
real.
the story is correct. But there's pieces of every religion where it's actually the right shit because they know. I mean, if you look at all the religions, it almost ties in one-on-one, like Christian and the Hindu and the Greek gods. It's almost like the
Same
story is
shit.
like the same.
It's repeating over and over again.
It's like it's like the same shit. So
The TV show Supernatural explained it perfectly. It just talked about whoever was like the current god at the time is what the god that most people believed in. Like the gods, the gods at the time solely existed because most people believed on them on Earth. So most people at one time believed Zeus was a god, but that's old. That's old stuff.
because that's
so
what they see.
that was what it was their thing back then. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's interesting.
it's deep. It's so deep.
It's deep.
Like ways you can like reach to these certain dimensions. Plant medicine, psychedelics, because they said like the 5th dimension, 8th dimension. Like if you're able to hit like a psychedelic trip, because the 8th dimension you could do whatever the fuck you want. It's like you know everything. Like you know the perspective of pig, you know the perspective of an ant, you know the perspective of like
Of
a
a
bumblebee.
woman, a man,
Right.
somebody black who's white.
Right.
Yeah. Just
So when you're aware of all that, of course you're gonna be so enlightened.
self awareness.
Like,
That's too
yeah.
much. That's
Yeah, it's so
a lot, man.
crazy.
It's almost overwhelming if you think about it. Like,
Right. And here's where I resonated with this dude, right? Where he talks about like, you resonate like as like an animal and you know what the animal is going through. Like when I did like one of my first LSD trips, I saw myself as a bumblebee right?
Shit.
Another dude on the podcast talked about his bumblebee story too, and I fucking freaked out. I was like,
him
fuck.
too?
Because I was a bumblebee, and I was so happy. I was just flying around like fucking,
Doing pollen?
getting my shit off the flower. But my only goal was to serve the queen, right? So I did my job for the whole day. I did my thing with, with the honey and shit. And then all I did for the rest of the day as a bee, I was chilling, dude, in a fucking honeycomb. So fucking cozy with like 100 other bees just buzzing. I'm like, fuck, this is so comfortable.
And you're not worried about no traffic.
Not worried
trying
about
to pay bills,
shit, dude. I was like,
you did your
hey,
pollen
man, I
run?
pollinated that flower. I'm
My
gonna
job
chill
is
now.
done. My job is done.
And yeah, I fucking flew back to the flower. I was laying down. I was like, this is so comfortable and fucking cozy. And then all the bees like, bzz, like it was so fucking comfortable. I was like, this is life right here.
You're like, oh man, it's so good. Man, it's kind of warm outside. And okay.
That's so crazy because I went through like the body of like a bee into like the body of like a fish.
That's insane. But I don't mean that in a bad way. Like I'm not saying that's insane. Like I don't believe you. That's it. It makes sense though because it's so simplistic compared to what we as humans have to do to even make it. Is it?
Yeah, like saying the story out loud, it's almost like I don't believe in myself because it's so outrageous.
But it
like
makes
I went
sense
from
to
like
me, though. It makes sense to me.
I went from like a bee form to like a fish form.
Oh hell.
And I was aware that in real life I can't swim, but I was in the ocean. I saw myself in the ocean. I was like, but then I was like,
did you panic?
No, I was like, holy shit, I can breathe. I was like, if I can breathe, then I'm straight. And I swam all the way down.
And maybe that's like a mental block in your brain of just like the fear of the ocean. Like I can't breathe in it because it's not air. Then
yeah, so like I went through like the body of like in like a fish. It's fucking sweet, dude. So I went to like 5th dimension, 8th dimension, and I didn't even know that.
Now you're back at this shithole.
Yeah.
Now you're back here.
Where the shit all wore off.
All these,
wore off, then I'm worried about money again and shit.
All these dirty humans and bills and...
Because there was times like
This
where I
rat
took a
race.
trip where I was like, I'm done.
Like, yo, this is too much. You know what?
Yeah, I was like,
What am I waiting for? It's like,
I was like, I'm done. Like, I saw the truth. I saw everything. I was like, man, fuck this shit.
But at the same time, that's kind of a thing of where you still have to live your life and experience it. And then if your time to go, I don't think you should cut it, like, cut it short or anything like that. But, just live it, just see what happens. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's all about like,
I'm going through the paces right now, too.
Yeah. I was like, the reason why we're still alive, it's like we're like in the middle. Like, we do good and we do bad same time. It's almost like a show for somebody.
I mean, I know some bad people live a long ass time, man. I don't know.
Yeah, because you wonder, like, okay, this one guy is just doing like bad shit, but he keeps getting rewarded. If you think about it, right? Like, it's like you're like tag teaming with like the demons, and the demons, it makes their job easier. Like, oh, this guy is like more bad than I thought he was. So I don't really have to do much. I just have to reward him. You know? Like, he murdered like 10 people? Hey.
Let's give him some more.
Hey, let's make something else like happen in his life to where, it can
Make him
get
feel
other
more
people on board to where it makes the demon job easier.
It's like, man, let's keep him in power, man. It makes my work easy, so,
Yeah. So whenever anything like bad happened to you, just thank them, man. Like, hey, thank you for making me crash my car and breaking my leg. But yeah, I'm gonna take it from here.
I just don't think people. I know I was like, think
That's
people.
extreme, huh?
Like the way my brain thinks is like when something bad happens to me. As I've gotten older, there's shit that's happened to me where I've wanted to like scream, freak out. My anxiety's going through the roof. I'm like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what? Time is a flat circle. This has happened before, Chris. Maybe differently, but it's still the same thing.
Yeah, you get that repeat.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, just kind of like, just rework it,
We got Bob in the house.
Bobby, what's up?
She said you're welcome. I think she's talking about the snowboard.
Oh, I thought she was talking about...
Thanks, Bob.
I thought she was talking about the... That's what
the COVID?
Yeah.
Thanks for the COVID.
Yeah, that's what I thought she was saying. I swear to God. But no, that's a good... that is amazing.
Yeah, Bob in the chat gave me the snowboard.
I saw it when I was... as soon as I walked in, I noticed the sign, but that snowboard really caught my eye. I was like, okay.
Hey, you guys know this flower? You guys know who the famous Japanese artist?
What does that look like? I'm just saying, what's the other side of the flower?
You guys don't know the artist. This is so crazy. This is like our generation. This is Takashi Murakami, the famous Japanese artist. He did like
Shellshock, that's not what he said.
he did all the album covers for like Kanye, Drake. He did Gucci bags. Like he's really famous.
Holy shit! I didn't even
If you
know
guys
he
look
did
up
Gucci bags.
Takashi Murakami,
Yeah.
he's a famous
That's-
Japanese artist.
No, from Kanye West shit. Definitely, I know him from that.
Yeah,
But I didn't know he did. I didn't know he
it's
did.
Like, it's our generation.
I didn't know he did anything outside of that.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Shellshock in the chat says, he said your cooking gave him COVID.
No,
And I'm saying that's what I said. Like he did not say
it's the
that.
papaya salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we had at the Christmas party.
Okay, so Bob says only made mash. Okay, mashed
No,
potatoes.
I ate after her when she
After
made
plate,
papaya
yeah,
salad.
after- yeah.
She didn't finish it, and then
It wasn't the cooking.
I ate it with my
Shellshock.
hands. Yeah, yeah.
He's trying to start World War
Yeah, I
III
ate
here.
after her. That's what happened.
He's trying to start World War III in here. Shellshock.
The cooking's that bad. I got COVID. I got COVID from that Christmas party.
Oh man, you got anything else?
Yeah, the birds.
Oh, let me go pee right quick. Let me go pee right quick. This is an extra long episode.
When we get back, we're gonna talk about fake birds and then close out the episode.
Hold
Be
on,
right
guys. Hold on.
All right, we're gonna finish this up with the fake birds.
Yes, this is
The fake birds conspiracy, if you guys heard about it. All right, so the conspiracies, like there's a hashtag called birds aren't real. So this whole shit happened even a long time ago.
Yeah, I think
so-
we talked about it before, maybe for a second.
Way longer.
Yeah.
Like it actually started in 1959.
Oh, God, damn.
Because there's trolls back then too. If you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
imagine, there was trolls back then. So
for sure.
between 1959 and 2001, the conspiracy is that the government killed millions of birds, and all that was left was like drone birds, and they recharged through
Solar.
power lines.
That's what it was. They sit on power lines and they would charge themselves.
Yeah.
And it's been around that long.
Yeah,
I remember hearing about this either a couple years ago. I can't remember who brought it up. I can't remember. We talked about it for a second before, but on the
magic.
show. But
yeah, yeah. So the conspiracy happened a long time ago. Somebody just made up some shit like, "Hey, the birds are fake. The government, they have fake birds. They're actually drones, and they're using these birds to spy on Americans."
like, look how they turn their heads. That's like a robot. It's like,
Right.
like robots.
Here's why I say like the conspiracy is like half true. All the birds aren't fake. Maybe if there are
Wait.
fake-
Say
Okay,
that again. No. What'd you say? All the birds are not. That means
all the birds not fake.
So you think some are?
Yeah, maybe like 3%.
I think 0.
I think 3% are fake.
All right.
But they upgraded. They use like mosquitoes now, like to spy, because they're still so advanced. But back then,
the
you would
next level.
imagine, computers were like a lot bigger back
Yeah,
then,
this big ass like size of fridges.
right? But it's still like advanced for that time, and they were able to put these little computers into these birds.
But they've gotten smaller since. Oh.
Yeah. So now we switch over to insect to spy on human beings.
And nano cameras.
Right,
Some
nano
shit.
cameras.
Some
Like
shit.
if you
I don't even know
ever,
that's real, but
if you ever seen that show, not the show, that movie in HBO Max. What's that shit? Fuck.
which one?
It's like fucking Blade Runner, but it's a new one that came out on HBO Max.
What?
Dune.
I still haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay, I'm about to spoil like a little
I don't
scene.
care. I'm gonna watch it still.
So like there's like this scene where the kid, in the Dune, he was like kind of like the chosen one, like Neo.
Yeah.
He carried on that bloodline that they've been waiting for a long time.
something about spice and stuff like that. I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never seen
like
Dune.
spice. We're talking about psychedelics.
Yeah.
Right. And they're trying to harvest it from like a planet.
Yeah.
So this kid, they're waiting for like a child to be born to where he had the brain capacity to carry on the knowledge of the past, future, and present. Because there's no human that can harness that type of, that information in the brain.
It's too much. Yeah.
What's crazy, I had a psychedelic trip to where almost like they kind of made fun of us because like we're created, like we have this big brain, but our brain is not capable of holding like knowledge from ancient past and everything, ancient past and future.
Yeah, it wasn't built for that.
Yeah, it wasn't built. Like our brain would,
Our
it would
brain is like,
explode.
our brain is like built to accept things, move on.
Yeah, and I saw this in my freaking psychedelic trip, and I was like, my brain told me that? I was like, bullshit. This information is already like in my brain a long time ago, along with you guys. You guys all hold the whole
We all
the,
got
you
the
guys
knowledge of the past.
you
It's
guys
in
have
all of
the
us.
memory card in your head. You guys know the same shit. It's just unlocked right now.
It just gets wiped when you get reborn again. It just wipes it out.
No, it never gets fully wiped.
Well, not fully wiped, but
They carry residue.
What do you say, like scrub the hard drive type thing?
Yeah,
Like,
they can
Can you
try.
ever really fully
Yeah.
scrub it? Okay, so Social Shock in the chat says, Dune was written in '65, so maybe that's like the media conditioning you've talked about before. Oh yeah, with the
Yeah, it's a remake, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's based off a book that they made into a movie in the '80s. I've heard about it since I was a kid, never watched it, and then they did the remake, which I heard is damn good, but I didn't get a chance to go see it in
The
theaters.
new one, right? The HBO.
The new one. They took it off HBO Max already too. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
There's this one scene that I was like, this shit's so cool. Like what she said, I wrote the quote down, but I don't remember it. But it was so sick because they were saying, oh, they're waiting for somebody who can hold the knowledge of past and future. And I was like, wow, I remember that.
That's the one that stuck with you the most.
Yeah, and then they talked about this, the spice, the magic, the psychedelic.
And I heard of spice, but I was like a drug. But I don't know. And I've never seen anything about Doom. I only know like tiny bits and pieces of its lore, but I've never read the book, never seen the OG movie, or I haven't seen this new movie.
Yeah,
But it sounds very interesting though.
you gotta watch with like an open mind, like of like different lives, like
I know when his
parallel
eyes
lives. Like,
I know when his eyes turns blue, it's kind of like he's. I don't know if it's God mode. I don't know what's the word to use for it, but it's kind of like
here's what I say:
tapping into something.
the whole movie is deeper if you had a real psychedelic trip, because they'll hit you. When it hit you, there's some scenes that where it hit you where you'd be like, "Holy shit!" Because when I saw it, I said, "Oh shit, they know." Whoever wrote like that script part, like
They did it.
okay,
They took the trip.
okay, Silicon Valley, like whoever like wrote that script, they dabbled into psychedelics.
Oh hell yeah.
Shell Shock says, just to think of how many Southerners alone that you could watch with mosquito cams.
Oh my, you see like the most. Don't go to Florida if you got mosquito cams. That might be too
Yeah,
much.
okay. Here's the whole thing with the birds, right? Like I say, like maybe back then there was like a conspiracy where, like, let's say 2-3% is actually fake birds, and they actually use it to spy on, like, their peers or people that actually they think are spies from another country.
What'd you say? Wait. You said this is in '59?
Yeah, back then, like 50s.
Oh, that makes sense. Cold War, but that makes so
that was
much
like
sense.
that's like the spies.
The
where
Russian,
they thought
American-
everybody was
Oh, man, that makes so much
against.
sense.
They thought every Russian was.
The space race, all that shit. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes hella
That's
sense why
they
people
even
saying that.
hired like a Navajo Indian because the language, you cannot decode a Navajo language because they can't even decode their own shit.
So, it's like they're just making it up as they go along.
They can't even fucking put their own language in a book because the Navajo Indians, the language is so complex. It's not even like words or sound. It's like a fucking, like you choking or some shit. It's like
Are they from the universe?
it's like their language is so weird. Almost like you have to choke on something to pronounce like one word.
That's like some other planet type shit.
Yeah,
That's like
that's why like they said the Japanese can't crack the Navajo language
Nobody.
because it's almost like they don't even know their own language.
They was using it in oh my god, what's that movie Wind Talkers? When in World War II, that
Yes.
shit is good.
Yeah,
With Nicolas Cage,
Yep.
the Navajo Indians was helping soldiers in World War II. It's fucking crazy.
That's why they use them. Yeah, yep.
Holy shit.
They use them to be like where no other country can crack.
It's like, yo, they can't crack none of these codes. But we got this Navajo Indians, they doing it, and oh my god.
Yeah, their language is so fucking foreign and
I
shit.
never realized it was that insane until
Yeah,
just
their
now. when I
language
thought
is
about it.
like it's like rich. Like it, I can't even describe it.
Predates
It's like
Earth. Predates us whole
yeah,
planet.
it's like I don't know, man. It's more than just a click, like a click in like 3 different tones, just to say good morning.
You're like, what the hell? You just give me a paragraph of what are you trying to tell me?
So like this whole bird conspiracy, like it started again back in like 2017, where like some kid, he was at some protest, and then he was the only one with a sign that says birds aren't real, and then it picked up, and then people
that's how it
started picking
started.
it up. Yeah, that's how it all started.
I didn't know that.
So like he brought that shit back to life, and then like it carried on his own entity because they have like over 400,000 followers now, and shit. They're verified on Instagram. They have TikTok. Maybe they're verified there too.
I did not notice how it started because I remember hearing about it before, but holy shit, just started from a kid with a sign and then.
Well, that's a story.
Well, no. I'm saying I don't believe. I'm just
That's
trying
the one that.
I'm trying to think of like that's like it's a story from existed back in '59, kind of faded away. Now it's getting a resurgence of
Yeah.
Joe. And if
So it like technically it's a fake story. Like they all made up, but then it picked up speed. Like people actually started really believing it, and they're saying like Gen Zs, the people that's born like 1990s and after. That's not us, by the way.
no, we out there. No.
So they're saying like, okay, because you guys are Gen Zs, you guys like believe anything. So, you know, somebody made up some shit about the fake birds. They created a following, and a lot of people that follow them and stuff, they actually believe like, okay, these birds aren't actually real. They're fake. They really think that these birds are fake.
They're powering up
But,
on the damn
you know,
lines.
I'll tell you right now, like, there's a lot of real birds. You know why? Because I ate them.
Wait, who?
I ate these birds before.
Like pigeons?
No, like
Those like the big birds. Those are the big birds. That, like
Bob knows she ate birds too. Like we're Asian. We eat birds. We ate quails. We ate what other bird
For
you
real?
ate, Pop? Yeah,
Asian people eat birds like that.
yeah. Tear that ass up. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I ate.
I used to fuck with chicken.
That
That's
shit
like
try
my
to
thing.
fly. Here's me.
He's like,
This is not a robot because you know you eat that shit, you're full. There's meat. There's protein.
if it's fake, that shit was good.
I bit the bone and everything. There was no feathers, but they
You know, birds was
my
like
mom, she would deep fry it. I'm like, this is so
What?
good.
that. And quails too. I thought quails were endangered. Maybe, no, I did not. I'm tripping.
If they're not, they might be
You know how I learned
because
about.
they are delicious.
You know how I learned about quails from Doug.
That's not how I got COVID. I got COVID from a human.
Wait, who says what? I'm trying to read the chat. Let's see. It must says that's how he got COVID. Oh, you ate quail.
I haven't ate quail since I was like,
like-
12.
But COVID has always been here, so maybe. Melissa also says they eat quail eggs in what? I can't see. My brain just
In
went.
K-dramas.
Oh, okay.
That's so normal. We eat humans.
I thought it was fish.
We eat eggs from chickens. There's no difference from eating quail eggs. It's the
There's-
same shit.
Oh, you're just eating eggs.
Yeah.
I think you're just eating a whole bird.
Oh, I ate their whole bird too. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. So you eat
You ever seen a homeless
The whole
person
thing.
eat a pigeon?
No, and I never want to see it because pigeons are nasty by themselves.
Okay, I was watching a documentary. It was a murder one. You guys might know this one. It was the one in Skid Row.
Yeah, okay.
What's that one? Ramirez,
Yeah,
right?
Ramirez,
Yeah, the crazy murderer. So one of the officers, they gave an interview saying Skid Row was one of the craziest places he ever been to.
Yeah, it's homeless capital.
He said when he was at Skid Row, he first saw like a homeless person look at him dead in the eye, grab the pigeon from the ground, right? Not even looking at the pigeon. This dude was eye contact, right?
He never broke.
His eye was locked on the officer's eye. This dude grabbed the pigeon.
Watch this.
Bro. Grab the pigeon. Put his mouth on his head, ripped his whole head off. Blood everywhere. That's not a robot.
No, that's not a robot.
That was a real pigeon. And then when he saw it, he was like, career change.
I'm about to be a teacher now.
Career change, please. Is CERN hiring? Do they need a new... does
subject.
CERN need a new... like, I'll clean bathrooms? Like,
Dude,
fuck that.
what do y'all need
Get
clean?
me out of Skid Row. You know what's happening in Atlanta right now? What people are not aware of, but I'm already saying it right now.
Oh, guys, it's gonna make me scared.
Skid Row is happening right now in Atlanta.
It's been like that.
No, it's worse. I'm watching it being built right now.
Okay,
Like
but-
Tent City.
No, oh my god, bro! Me and my dad was talking about this last Saturday. Like, oh, okay, so I'm a family guy, but on Saturdays, me and my dad we go for walks in the morning. We walk like maybe 2 hours or whatever. We do like a big walk, maybe 3-4 miles, right? Mm-hmm. We was having these talks. And we talking about like on my side of town. I'm starting to see more homeless people there.
You or your dad?
On my side of town.
Oh.
Where I said, and my dad's starting to see them more too because they're getting off of MARTA buses. Because he's built a MARTA bus about a year ago in Ellenwood.
Oh, they're expanding.
They're expanding out.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it more on my side of town where I'm seeing more homeless people. And now I'm trying to see, hey man, it's just only been it's a lot of tents around here off of freeways. And I'm like, oh, this is spreading.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's getting out of control. But yes, you are right. It's
happening. I see it happening. Like it started like Georgia State started with one tent, right? This is Georgia State right next to 5 Points.
Oh,
Main 5 Points, not little 5 Points.
Not the 5, the big one.
The big one. Yeah.
That's like the capital for homeless people, I guess. To me, at least I feel like with some stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
They know the area.
Yeah.
One of them cussed me out today.
Like he was having an episode. He
tried me, but he was holding eggs and then a fucking 6-pack of natural ice.
Yeah, natty ice and eggs.
Yeah.
Well, he better make a bomb ass omelet. That omelet about to be bomb.
Yeah. So like it's like little area, right? Like in Georgia State, like if you ride through the train, they use like maybe just last year there's one tent. Now there's like 12 tents.
Oh, see.
It's starting to stretch out through that whole area, and I was like, holy shit, they're doing Skid Row out here.
Think about like this though. Is it a
Tents are expensive, by the way.
They're not
so
cheap
how are
as
they
shit.
getting a hold of this?
I used to sell tents at a sporting goods store.
All right,
They're
expensive.
easily over $100. Easily,
way over $100.
And low end is like 100 and something. You want to get some like $500 ones. It's like almost like a house.
Dude, they had tents that it looks like $600 to $1,000 tents.
Yes,
because they had like side pieces.
It's like different rooms. It's
Hold on,
now.
like this dude.
They got separate rooms.
This dude got like 3 bedrooms in one tent. I was like, how did this homeless person get this? So I'm starting to think like, okay, this it's planned out. Like the city is also helping them get these tents. Cause come on.
I guess like a lot of times that stuff can be stolen and 5-figure discount or whatever. Some people probably get it for drugs or
they're getting help.
There's a whole other system.
No, yeah, there's side help.
I think the problem is that
they make deals with them so they don't fuck with the public. Here's what they do, right? Because a lot of the homeless people, the ones that don't have like tents and stuff, what they do at night, they travel to the airport. And once they travel to the airport, right, they stay at the airport, they fuck with everybody at the airport, and they stay there, and then nobody do nothing. The only time when people start complaining is in the morning, where all the homeless people are there at the airport. That's when they get the officers there. The officer's like, hey,
it makes sense too, because the airport.
We need to just get you guys back on the train to send you guys back to Atlanta, because you can't be fucking
up with the business.
Yeah, you can't fuck with the Atlanta people, like the people that's traveling. So they
Atlanta's like the biggest airport in the country. You can't fuck with the money. So
yeah, so they send them all back. So here's what I think was happening. You know, they're not begging for money to make a tent, right? Whatever. They're giving them money to have that tent so they can fucking chill there and not fuck with people.
Yeah, kind of.
Because it's so hard to control like homeless people.
It is difficult. Yeah,
because it's like their own little government too. Like they
got a
and
whole
then they
other
have to
system.
play by the rules.
They got a whole other society.
What are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna lock him up? What? That does nothing. What are you gonna do? It does nothing.
Well, because it's getting to a point where it's like because
he gets out of the system the next day. It's almost you're wasting so much money.
Yeah, at the same time too, it's like, well, locking up was like, well, what crime did they commit for being homeless? Is that the crime? Because being homeless is not a crime, but loitering but I can see why they would go to the damn airport too, because it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It ain't never closed down. Anybody can really walk in, but I mean, you can only get so far in the airport, but you can still use bathrooms, maybe fall asleep in there. You know, I get it.
Like the whole situation is so complicated. There's no state in America that knows how to deal with homeless people correctly.
A lot of times they'll send them off to another state.
That's exactly what they do.
They throw on buses.
So, people in San Diego, right? San Diego out in Cali is known to be like, rich neighborhood people, like wealthy people. So what they do in San Diego, they put a whole bunch of homeless people. They send them to like Chicago, to New York or whatever. They put them on a Greyhound. They pay for everything just as long as they can get a lot of the homeless people out of the state. Then Chicago, they get a whole bunch of homeless people. Where did they send them? Put them on a Greyhound. Send them right to Atlanta. Yeah. Right? Atlanta, you got the Greyhound, the Garnett Station, MARTA Station.
They did that back
Boom. Brand new set of homeless people. So there's like no state knows how to take care of this problem. So it's so complicated.
It happened back in, 96. Atlanta had the Olympics out here. That first time I ever heard the rumor that they was pushing people out of the city or homeless people out of the city was back in 96.
Yeah.
And then when Atlanta was like, hey, Atlanta, for one, is very strange. I'm not sure of the history of the Olympics, but most states out here in America do not host the Olympics. It seems like the rest of the world gets to do it, but Atlanta got to host it back in '96. I remember it. It was an amazing time to be in Atlanta. This city was bustling. The problem was, though, before that moment happened with the '96 Olympics, they had to get rid of all them homeless folks out the city.
What did they do?
Greyhound, Florida.
Oh,
Got them all up out of here.
Florida was
They
mad.
shoved them in Florida and shoved them anywhere else. Like, basically, like, hey, like, you guys want some money?
They
You're
gave them
homeless.
so much money, huh?
Hey, get on this bus. Like, everybody's got on the bus and just left. And it was clean for a little bit. Atlanta was 96, 97, 98, clean as hell in this city. And then
So the city gave them so much money.
They pushed them out. They pushed them out, but basically they paid for their Greyhound to get the hell up out of there. And maybe I'm thinking they probably would have paid the homeless people on some level, like give a homeless person $10. Ain't no telling what they would do. Maybe get on the bus or whatever. But I've seen it happen out here. The shit's real.
Those
It's
NPCs
so
are wild,
real.
man.
It did. The NPCs, they just shoved them out
That's
there.
why, like, there needs to be people like that. It's like it keeps the balance, the polarity.
Yeah.
It keeps rotating.
It's
There needs to be
crazy-ass
people
world.
like that. There needs to be people that's like the smart people. There needs to be people that's the one that's trying to keep people together. There needs to be people that's trying to separate people. There needs to be the evil guy. There needs to be like the rich, wealthy guy that tried to fucking corrupt the whole society. And all
Everybody has
that
a
needs
role.
to happen.
Everybody has a role. Everybody has a role to play.
That's what makes the
It's up to us to.
yeah. That's what makes this third dimension like a dimension that every entity wants to chill at, as like a vacation spot.
But man, this place is wild. Like this place is like a television show.
Yo, this shit lit. Oh, they still say that?
They've had 2 world wars. What the hell?
Holy shit. Hitler got fucking reincarnated 100 times.
They're homeless people. What the fuck? Okay, all right. This is still a problem. It was like this back when I was here, but I got out here back in the 30s.
Yeah. Okay, what's weird about this bird conspiracy before we end it out?
Oh yeah.
Like, we started seeing like a whole bunch of bird videos online to where it looks like birds aren't really flying normally.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Yeah,
It's almost like
they stuck.
they're fucking floating and their wings aren't even moving. So let's say like Melissa's saying like, oh, the bird could be stuck on like a wire or something. But if you look at that bird video, right, the one with the firefighter trying to fucking get that shit out the
one
sky.
you put on Reddit. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, the bird is just like this. His wings are up, nothing is moving, and it's just so weird because it looks so calm, but it's fucking floating at the same time. And then the firefighter with this big ass pole, standing on top of the fire truck, trying to.
So wait. So do you think this is a robot issue or is this a reality? I think this is a reality issue. Like the robot shit was out the window with that video when I saw.
Say why I gotta call her out. No, I was just saying as an example, because when I did watch that video the first time, it did look like, in the beginning, it did look like the bird was like stuck on a cable, right?
At first, for a split second, maybe when they try to
just
move
for
it.
like almost like 1 second.
Yeah.
And then when I saw how it was moving, I was like, oh, it's not stuck no more. Like it's not stuck at all.
Yeah, because when I first saw it, I did think it was like maybe stuck on something that.
That's what I thought too.
But-
But then
but-
I looked at it, I was like,
But then I thought about it. I was like, is it because my brain is programmed to think that this is how reality works? But
yeah,
this is
it's like-
something.
yeah, we're programmed to
think this is how it's supposed to be.
like yeah, like that's not possible. Yeah, that's why. When I saw that, I was like, what made it like really real was when you see the firefighters trying to bring it down, and then you saw the face of the dude. It was like,
hey,
like man, what am I doing here? This shit ain't even. It's not even normal.
like, man, this is not in the.
It's like, is this shit real?
So we didn't train for this. Like, what is?
It's like, what the fuck is, like, it's like, what are we doing?
So I
Like, this
wasn't-
bird is like, it's almost like he's dead and just floating. It's so weird. If that was like a robot bird, like, how'd they make it
Well,
so
even
good?
the robot bird would have failed. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a simulation error. that's
It
the
was
best
wrong.
way.
The whole thing was wrong.
It was.
Yeah, it didn't make sense in this reality.
It scared me when I saw it. I told you. I think I told you yesterday. I was like, it kind of scared me when I saw it.
Yeah, because I was like, hey,
I don't know
you
what
want to
this-
see like a real glitch?
You want to see a dead body?
You want to see a real glitch in our reality?
Shellshock says in chat, isn't that the wings timed out with the frame of the camera?
I know what you're talking about.
That's what it said. 'Cause I remember
It's
like the wings.
the shutter speed with like the camera.
Yeah, I
but
caught that. Yeah.
if you think about it, right, this is recorded on whoever's within in the vehicle, they did it with a cell phone camera,
Yeah.
right? The wings, it's like I know what you're talking about. It's like if you
I saw
record a
the wings.
helicopter
I saw
blade,
okay.
yeah, if you record like a helicopter blade, right, and then you hit the frames like correctly, the blades it doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
And so it looks like the helicopter is floating.
Yeah, I've seen it. Oh, yes. Because I remember I saw a video one time of a helicopter taking off, but it was like they did something with the frame of it.
Yeah,
This shit looks
like
horrifying.
The frame with the camera lens, it matches like the same, like how the helicopter is spinning.
So
But this is different. This is like a video cam, and then at the same time, what made it more real was the firefighter was there trying to get that shit down.
I thought to me, I agree with you on that. I thought what really made it real to me was it was cars pulling up still. When I was watching the video, I was like,
Yeah, everything is real time.
Everything's happening. Everything's moving.
Yeah,
It's not
life
like,
is happening.
yes.
And then you see firefighter. Like, okay, let's say like the frames did like capture his wings not moving, right? If you look at the bird, it's not really struggling at all. The bird's just like this.
He's a
Like,
victim.
if you see like his wings moving, you can see like the body like
I'm
convulsing,
I'm
like,
st- I'm
hey,
stuck.
I have to get out of this. I'm stuck in floss right now. But the bird was just chilling like this, like Titanic, like, hey,
Wings
I'm
out.
here. Bob says, how do you explain it to the people in person? That's a real video.
Yeah,
There's too much.
how do you
There's
explain
too
it
much
to the people?
going on in the video where it's too real. It's like we could record it because there's so much stuff happening. The firefighter, everything. The car is moving. The car is stopped. The lady in the car just pointing the camera, and I'm sure she's not a fucking no. I'm sure she's not a blender expert.
No, man.
That takes a lot of work.
No, man, no.
Yeah,
you know a lot about technology. You would know like this is a lot of
how I
man,
know how difficult that is.
it takes a lot of man hours to learn that shit.
Yeah,
Most people wouldn't get into it.
No common lady in a car just recording could pull that off. It's too. Get out of here.
So what Bob was saying is, how do you explain it to the people in person? So I guess like all the people that's maybe other cars, like what the
It's real. I think it's real. I think that's a legit 100%. That's the real footage of a bird that in midair.
got stuck.
Midair. His wings are not even flapping, floating in the air.
The bird don't even.
Firefighter has like a PVC stick, like fucking extended, like
yeah, it was such a
some
weird.
fucking Avatar shit. I
They
don't
probably
know.
had to build that especially for that bird. Cause
Yeah,
they
you
don't
see
have
like
to-
you can see like little the duct tape wrapped around the pipe. Like, hey, we're not equipped for this.
You know what's probably even more confused than the firefighter? The bird. The bird was like, "Oh, what is this?
This is so embarrassing.
Like, what is going on here, man?
This is so embarrassing.
this usually doesn't happen, but
They're all watching. The bird's like, I can't put my wings down.
hey, yo, help me, please.
Somebody reboot the program.
I wonder who called the damn fire department then. Because if you call fire department, it's usually like an emergency. But
Yeah.
who saw it first?
Somebody had to call.
Somebody
that
had to
bird.
call him.
The bird was there for a long time.
I can't. This shit broke my brain. I can't.
Yeah. So the bird was
I
there
can't
for a
right now.
long time.
And somebody was like, "Hey, 911, look, there's a bird stuck in the sky." Okay, we don't believe you. No, it's right there. I swear to God. They probably got
right
like a bunch of 911 calls. It's like, oh, you know what? Go get this bird. That's when the fireman was like,
Hello, 911. Yeah, there's a bird stuck in the sky. He's stuck. I think he's stuck on a wire or something. Please bring somebody out here.
And they probably hung up, like, okay, whatever. But then, like, everybody sitting in traffic is calling, like, there's a bird in the sky. Like, oh, you know what? Send out Jim. Jim's like, what the fuck? How, this is not. We weren't trained on this. What
His
we
second week of work is like, he was like,
What if it's like 2 weeks before you retired?
what am I supposed to? This shit's moving away from the stick. What else do I do? This is not a cat stuck in a tree. This is a fucking bird mid-flight, fucking floating.
This defies all reality.
Like Chris Angel. There's no camera crews here. What the hell? What is happening right
this
now?
a
Like,
stunt?
are we being punked?
I was about to say that. Are we being punked?
Melissa says maybe they just came across the birds. Shell Shock says, I got to see this one, I guess. Dude, Shell Shock, go to the...
Yo, it's on Reddit, bro. It's on Reddit.
He says, oh, that bird straight up looks stuck. Yeah.
Yes, it's stuck, man. Because it's moving. You can see it move, but
That shit is
Where's it
fucking
going?
levitating like Chris Angel, like some fucking magic glitch, you know?
Bob says why he didn't have a net.
They weren't prepared. Who
they
the
pro-
hell needs a PVC
well,
pipe that tall to fucking catch a bird?
Well, I imagine this is probably how it went down. That when the firefighters showed up, there was expected to be the bird is stuck on something, so you wouldn't need a net for it. But when they get there, they're like, "Oh shit, maybe we should have a net." I mean, a net
It's like 3 stories tall.
yeah, and that makes sense. But I guess when you like whoever called it in, they probably think like, "Okay, a bird is stuck somewhere. Let's go get it. We got like a stick." And they get there, it's like, "Oh, the bird's stuck in the air." Okay, we weren't looking for this. We weren't expecting this. So,
Beep, beep.
oh shit.
Hey, the bird is actually in midair, stuck, floating.
Oh shit.
I don't know what you're talking about. Imagine a bird in water, but no water.
It's just stuck.
Bird's not. His wings are not flapping.
What do I do? Like, and Jim's like, "What do I do? You got any duct tape? Put 2 sticks together. There's some PCV pipes and put them together, wrap them up, and then good luck." That shit broke reality though. That
happened in Malaysia.
That shit bought. Oh my god! I don't even want to.
Yeah, that happened in Malaysia.
Weather plane.
Malaysia got that.
Oh, what's going on in Malaysia? We tripping over here.
Malaysians too much magic.
The plane went missing. Now the bird stuck.
That's the magic country, man.
They live in Lost. That's where they live at. That's the whole.
They live.
That's the bubble. The whole bubble is lost.
That's lost. That
lost.
island doesn't even exist.
What is going on?
It's supposed to be underwater.
It's not supposed to be here.
Ay, ay, ay.
Something in the air.
Yeah, Malaysia.
Is it plane birds? Like, what is going on? Something's in
Lost.
the air. It's literally something wrong with that place. Damn it, man.
But yeah, so birds aren't real. Almost 400,000 followers on Instagram. You guys can follow them. I am about to follow them.
Yeah, let's do it right now, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it together.
So just look up "birds aren't real" on Instagram. You see that funny kid. He had the interview on I think MSNBC, whatever station that was, where he drank milk and choked on it. That was a real choke. He really did choke on that shit.
Oh, I thought he was faking that shit.
No, that dude almost died.
This shit must be blown up. I just typed in birds, and that was the first thing popped up.
Yeah, it's actually a verified page. So you guys can follow them on Instagram, Twitter.
Oh,
TikTok.
Eric Andre's following it. Oh shit! You know this is weird.
Yeah, only one of my friends are following them.
Now you got me. I'm following them. I just hit it.
And it was like a normal friend too. So I was like, okay, let me just do this too.
Oh my god!
But I'm not doing it yet. But
I see somebody. Oh my god, she's following this page too. A friend of mine who I kind of figured it was a conspiracy theorist.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and end this podcast. Thank you guys for joining us for the first episode for 2022.
Hell yeah. Did it. We back, baby.
It was fun. Like, it was a little slow in the beginning, but we got our gears together, and we're going to be back full blast next week on Tuesday.
Friday.
We're
doing a Friday episode, guys. We're doing a Friday episode.
Next week is different. We're going to run the podcast on a Friday episode. And I know Friday is like party day.
Yes.
So, but if you guys can make it.
But this is COVID era. So Fridays are, look, wow. The kids are home. Give them an iPad.
Yep.
Kick back. Listen to us. You and your old lady.
Let the kids.
Just be kids. Play Fortnite, whatever. It's Friday night. We usually don't do Fridays, but
Fortnite
this is just for next week because I got to take care of some stuff. So,
yeah. So next week, we're going to have episode on Friday.
6 p.m. now, right?
Yeah.
I'm off Saturday, so we can do this for
I'm off
long.
Friday, Saturday. So
let's do it.
Shit.
So
we might have some punch.
Doug, let's go. If you want to do it.
I don't even know what's going to happen, but Friday next week.
Friday next week, 6
Be
p.m.
there, guys. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Peace out. Adios.
Love you guys. See you.
It's not illegal to not listen to music. It's illegal to